Radio via Facebook, YouTube, and Mixcloud. So tell your family and friends to tune in as we discuss topics that affect our well-being. The Wellbeing Show is proudly sponsored by NHS South London and Maudsley, the National Lottery Community Fund, and partnered with Real Insight, Base, 60 Seconds Creative Studio, and Gold Diggers Talk Show. Hi, my name is Miss Newlove, and I'm. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this week's The Wellbeing Show, Bestel Foundation's The Wellbeing Show. And today's topic is all about raising low self-esteem, kind of a bit of a spin-off to our show last week. And last week was our very first show of the year, and it was not last week, sorry, 2 weeks ago was our very first show of the year, and it was really insightful, really good topic. And as usual, I have my co-host, Miss Jacqueline Obeng, who is the CEO of Base, Become a Successful Entrepreneur. But before I introduce Jacqui and bring her on and we discuss what's been going on lately, a big thank you to our sponsors, who are NHS South London and Maudsley, and also the National Lottery Community Fund. And always we have to say a big thank you to our partners, who are 60 Seconds Creative Studio, Real Insight Consultant, Diversity Radio, where we're streaming live on Facebook right now, Gold Diggers Talk Show, and Base, Become a Successful Entrepreneur. So as I said, our show today is raising low self-esteem. So I'd like to introduce Jacqui on the platform.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm okay.
Good.
Okay. Yeah.
So, welcome to another episode of the Wellbeing Show. Obviously, this is the Bestel Foundation team. First of all, before we go into anything, we want to wish Stella a happy birthday, right?
Yes, a very happy birthday.
Yeah, from the entire team, we wish Mrs. Stella Juman a very fabulous birthday. Obviously, with the fifth floor, she's looking fabulous and not even a year older. So we're wishing her the best of luck, the best in everything she does. More inspiration, more increase, more age, more everything, increasing everything,
Exactly.
all areas in a wonderful life. So we thought I'd just say that. So happy birthday to Stella, Stella Juman today. Also, we want to, you guys want to give us a feedback about the program last Saturday?
Oh yes. So on Saturday we went to support Bestel Foundation and Real Insight Consultant at the Cosmic Cocktail, and is it Hot FM? No,
Cosmic FM.
Right. Yeah, Hot FM, I think, and Cosmic Cocktails Valentine's event, which was really, really, really nice.
How did it go?
I actually enjoyed it.
Did you?
I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Okay.
It was nice. The setup was very, different from last year.
Mm-hmm.
More appealing on the eye. I mean, yeah, it was nice. They had a jazz player,
right?
Saxophone.
Yes, so sax player. Yeah.
It was really good, and it was nice it was Big Joe, myself, Stella, Nash. Nash had a few of his friends. Stella brought a few of their friends.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a nice event.
Good. So obviously, for people who are not aware,
what we normally do.
Yeah.
So Nash, the whole team, we went to the front and spoke about Bestel and what Bestel does in the community. And as you know, Nash always has his way. He's really good with public speaking. So he had a way to interact with the crowd and draw their attention. Good. And explain to them who we are, what we do. And he also questioned them, like, he actually made people think about their own mental health,
their own mental well-being.
He spoke about scenarios and situations, and then he spoke in English, and he also spoke in our native language, Tree. Right. So it was really good,
Okay.
It was quite good. So
it's a shame that I missed it. But we were there last year.
yes,
So obviously I know obviously the expectations, but obviously this year I heard it was a very plush event, new
yeah.
things added on. And I
Mm-hmm.
just wanted to mention that the Cox Next, is it? That's that the name?
Cocktails.
Cock Cock what?
Cosmet.
Cos is it Cosnet? All right. So Cosnet
Cosmet.
Cosnet is one of our sponsors. She's one of our sponsors, I want to
Yeah,
say.
she is. She's part
She's
of the
part of
Best
Best
team.
Sale,
Yeah.
exactly. And obviously, she brings this program, the Valentine's Masquerade, every single year. And
Yeah.
obviously, she does host the Best Sale team, so that we can bring the awareness to obviously her guests, trying to basically promote the stigma of mental health and mental well-being within the BAME community. So, well, thank you very much, Evelyn. If you're ever listening to us, we appreciate obviously the support and the treatment, isn't it? How was it? Good treatment, special
Yeah.
treatment,
I
red
mean,
carpet.
there was all that, but I didn't really, I'm not really into all those things. But there was everything. There was red carpet. Yeah, Gina on the red carpet.
Do you know what's on red carpet?
Yes, there was the
Oh,
360 degrees machine
uh-huh.
outside and inside.
Mm-hmm.
There was, I mean, the food was nice. There was cocktails. There was all these dancers. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it was nice. I was just
Okay.
in my corner, but yeah, it had
Okay.
all the, you know,
All the exciting things,
yeah,
I should say, that makes
yeah,
it a program, an event. Well, the main thing was bringing the obviously the awareness to the
yeah,
community,
which was
basically.
definitely done.
Yeah. Okay. Well, back to us, the Wellbeing Show. We're introducing the charitable organization, which is Bestel, which is registered
Mhm.
over here and in Ghana. The aim is to address the stigma of mental health within the BAME community, raising awareness and providing interventions and supporting well-being to the entire community, both here and in the UK, or in Ghana, I should say. Again, I think Miss Newlove has talked about the various support network that we have. We've got large staffing. Obviously, Nash is part of us. Peter's one of us. Stella, Lisa, Lee Marie, Anne Mary,
And Mary, yeah.
Auntie. Today, I'm really exhausted to be quite honest. Anne Mary, um, Auntie Christabel. There's a whole large staffing of us. So apologies if I've missed out anybody. There's various groups of us. We've got obviously the well-being part. We've got the technical team with Big Joe. We've got Nash, which is the mental health, I should say, the medical team. We've got the psychiatric team. We've got our patron. A whole lot of us comes together as part of Bestel. So in addition to what we do here in the UK, we provide, I heard Nash talk about the workshops that were done. I think I saw a snip of the video on the platform where he talked about the training that's been provided in Ghana.
Yeah,
Obviously, we've got connections with South London and Morsley Trust,
yeah,
where we've got professionals there that, the team work alongside them. So everything that we've talked about is on our website, which is the information flowing across on our screens, which is www.bestelfoundation.org. That's our website, official new improved website with loads of information there. The Facebook pages, or I should say social media pages, would be the Facebook, which is the Bestel Foundation, which is Facebook. Bestel Caf is Instagram. Bestel Caf again is Twitter. And for telephone assistance, you've got Stella, number is flowing.
yeah.
Christabel, the number is also flowing. We've got Auntie Hilda as well. Her number is there. And Marian. We keep forgetting Marian. Marian is obviously the mother of it all, where she constantly is feeding us. She's one of the caterers as well. Marian's on there. Again, Fendi as well is one of the
Yeah.
team. So we've really got a lot of stuff, and they all work in their own little corners tirelessly every single time they're there to support the community.
And
There
the
we go.
team in Ghana as well. So
Yeah,
I mean, if you
exactly.
go on our website and you look at the team, it's just amazing. So that would be the best place to look.
Exactly.
Yeah, it just gives you insight into
all the information you need about Bestel. Also, we've got bank account details there on the website. Obviously, we need the support with all the stuff that we travel every annually to, in October, the Mental Health Month, where we go to Ghana and support and try to deliver our services back home. So we really need your support, both financially and obviously physically, if you can.
Yes. So today's topic is raising low self-esteem. And what did we discuss 2 weeks ago, Jacqui? I'm trying to remember. What did we ways to improve, ways to improve our mental health. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's kind of like a spin-off from that show, like I said earlier. It's
exactly.
So ways to raise your self-esteem. And when we talk about self-esteem, we all have times where we lack confidence and do not feel good about ourselves. But when low self-esteem becomes something that happens more often than, the usual, then that's when it's becoming a long-term problem, and it can have a bad effect on our mental health.
Yeah.
So what is self-esteem? Self-esteem is the opinion that we have of ourselves. And it's very important that we have a good opinion of ourselves, that we think well of ourselves, that, because we should be our own cheerleaders, really. Yeah. Before anybody else, we should be the ones that make ourselves feel good. And I'm sure a lot of us hear that all the time, but it's easier said than done, because so many things can just bring down your self-esteem. So when we have a healthy self-esteem, we tend to feel positive about ourselves and about life in general, and it makes us, it makes us better and able to deal with life's ups and downs. When we have good self-esteem, we're confident, we believe in ourselves, we're go-getters, all that stuff, all that good stuff, and how we're supposed to be. But the reason we're talking about this is because it's an issue. It's definitely an issue amongst ourselves, and it's something that people don't like to talk about, and people like to hide the fact that they have low self-esteem and act very happy and vibrant, but sometimes it's not always the case. So when our self-esteem is low, we tend to see ourselves and our life in more of a negative and crucial, like we're very crucial. Sometimes you're very harsh on yourself and you're always like telling yourself off in your mind, oh, I done this wrong, I did that wrong, I could have done that better. That's part of having low self-esteem. And we also feel less able to take on the challenges that life throws at us. So when you have low self-esteem and you're going through hard times, it makes situations worse.
Yeah.
So what kind of things cause low self-esteem? Low self-esteem often begins in childhood. I think that's where it often starts. It starts off from our surroundings, our teachers, our siblings, our parents. So for instance, I don't know if anyone's experienced it, but back in the day, school time, now, because of your teacher, so because of what would I say, is it safeguarding and stuff like that, maybe? Because of all the because of safeguarding and so many things, things have changed in schools. But back in the day, even in UK, Europe, around the world, teachers will tell you off and say, you're going to be nothing, you're useless, you're so dumb. Exactly. They used to say things like that. So
and also sometimes you get obviously child on child bullying and obviously picking on people, so therefore that affects people, other children's self-esteem. And so you're right.
In terms of the bullying,
in terms of now bullying, the government have put proper tools in place that obviously one needs to follow. It has reduced that
a lot of but it normally starts in childhood and friends, your cousins saying, oh, you're this, you're ugly, your nose is big, or, whatever it is, and there's so many different type of eras. We've all lived in different eras and we're all from different generations, but it's not like today. there's a lot of body positivity, there's a lot of self-love, social media, life itself, people have been through things, so we promote positive things, and we've learned to be more acceptant of ourselves and others, whereas maybe it wasn't like that years ago. I've heard many stories of people in Ghana, you know, maybe struggling to study, and the teachers will say, "Oh, wabon," or "You're dumb," "You're stupid." You know, or people who have people who were ambitious when they were younger, maybe have low self-esteem now because people said, "Oh, they're thinking too big. Oh, you can't be a politician. You can't be this. You're not smart enough. You don't look like this, or you can't, you know, so you can't do certain things." So that having low self-esteem always, and most of the times, majority of the time, starts from a young age, being abused by those who are close to us, especially the people that you call your sisters, your friends, and all that kind of stuff. So for some reason, the message that you're not good enough, it stays with you. And if you're not a strong person, or if you don't change your circle, or if you don't change your environment, you grow up believing that you're not good enough, and you know, you won't amount to nothing. So these are the reasons why it's important for us to speak positively to ourselves, to our children, to our friends, to anybody in general, in our workplaces, the people we deal with in society. You can even meet someone on the bus and just say something bad that could affect their self-esteem, because you don't know what
don't know what they're going through. Exactly.
Yeah. So with the low self-esteem, perhaps you found it difficult to live up to other people's expectations. So going back to your parents, you know, depending on what home you're from, your parents have a certain expectation of you. They expect you to go to school, do your GCSEs, do your whatever, go to uni and become a professional. And sometimes if it doesn't go that way, they talk down on you, or they've said things to you that have stuck with you all your life. So these are some of the reasons. But then it's not always about that. Sometimes it's stress.
It can, you know, result to stress.
It could be difficult life events that you've been through, like your childhood could have been good, then you could have just had that one relationship or that one friendship, or even a serious illness. Some people have low self-esteem because they've lost their hair, or because they had to go through something, chemo or anything, and their body's changed. There's so many things. And even bereavement apparently can cause a negative effect on self-esteem. If you lose a parent or someone close to you, or someone you know that was your cheerleader, or the person that brought you up, you know, when you lose them, that can play a part on you having low self-esteem. Personality can also play a part. Some people are just more prone to negative thinking, whilst others are always always high and always positive. You know, you always have that friend, or you've always had that friend in school, or as you've grown up, that's just always been positive. And nothing can bring them down. And even when you insult them, no, I'm the like, you know, some people are just naturally like,
they've got high spirits. Exactly.
If that's how you are, that's good. But you know, the majority of the time, there's a lot of things we go through as we're growing up that can have an effect on our self-esteem. And it's I spoke about this with someone. What's the name of it? There's a word when it comes back to me. I'll bring it up. But there's a word that allows you to change the way you think about yourself and how you can change these things around. But yeah, so that's what causes low self-esteem.
Right. So again, as you're you know, obviously you did the opening about low self-esteem is quite it does affect our confidence, as you said. And sometimes obviously staying away from social situations, stopping you or avoiding you to try new things or find challenges. So again, it affects your confidence and makes you, you know, shy away from people, which obviously does eventually affect your mental well-being. In short term, avoiding challenges and difficult situations might make you feel safe. Okay. However, in the longer term, this can backfire because it reinforces your underlying doubts and fears. It also teaches you to be unhelpful, rule that the only way you can cope is by avoiding things. And this is, you know, is quite, a bit serious about having a low self-esteem, making you think. So it's changed your mindset about
Yeah.
what you can do, basically, and what you can cope with and what you cannot cope with. Okay. So it is quite tricky, really, having a low self-esteem. Esteem. Also, living with a low self-esteem can harm your mental health and leads to problems such as depression and anxiety. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, it is quite serious because having a low self-esteem also you can develop unhelpful habits
Yeah.
such as smoking, drinking too much, or obviously a way of coping, using these coping mechanisms to help you cope because of your low your low self-esteem, which is quite sad, really, using some sort of instruments or you know chemicals or something just
Yeah.
to support yourself.
Yeah.
Is quite trivial, to be quite honest, quite difficult. So how to have a self-esteem, how would you boost it? So holistically, I was just going to read something here about long-term self-esteem, how it can impact on your mental health, and also the anxiety. Having that, how does it affect on your mental health? So worrying about it,
Yeah.
and feeling the low esteem, not socializing,
Yeah.
probably isolating a lot, using all these substances to take care. All of these
Yeah.
affect your mental well-being. So to avoid this, try and obviously rebuild your confidence when you're feeling low,
Yeah.
and also, try and, even though it's difficult, it's quite difficult doing things by yourself. That's another thing. Try and seek help or, speak to people that can support yourself. So to boost your self-esteem, you need to identify that the negative beliefs you have about yourself and then challenge them. So again, identifying why you're feeling low.
Yes, which is very important.
Yeah, that'll be the first point of point to address.
Sometimes it's easier said than done, isn't it? Because
It is
the
very
issue
easy.
might be very traumatic, or might be something like abuse, or it could be something very sensitive, and some people just don't want to go back to that or
Yeah,
those things to
it
to
is.
bring. Do you understand? Like it's
I
easier
do.
said than done, really.
Exactly. And that's where I'm trying to find ways to obviously explain how you can identify, which is quite difficult.
Yeah.
Because just for example, people remember when we talked about people suffering from, obesity, bulimia, that sort of thing.
Yes.
For example, and obviously, how can you address it first and then to deal with it? It's quite a problem.
Yeah.
It will be quite a challenge. So you may
Because a
tell
lot of people
yourself,
are in denial as well.
sorry?
A lot of people do suffer from being in denial, like they
Yes.
don't want to face the reality and
Mm.
or deal with that issue, and that's why it affects. That's why there's a lot of things that leads people into, that allows the mental health situations for worse. If that makes sense. Do you
Yeah,
understand?
I do. I
Because
do. But
when you speak to most mental health patients,
uh-huh.
there's a reason. Nobody just was born with a mental health issue. It comes
No,
from somewhere, you know.
I
So
understand. Yeah.
yeah.
And
So most of the time it's they don't want to go there. They don't want to go. They don't want to go back to identifying
exactly.
the
There's
problem.
something that Nathaniel's just pointed out, which is very important. And I actually was, I was going to say that because you have to be mentally strong to deal with a low self-esteem.
You do.
Yeah. Because how can you identify if you're weak?
Exactly.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're weak, you can't, for example, if I've got an issue with it, okay, it's stressing me out and it makes me feel low,
Yeah.
and I'm not that strong enough, how can I, tackle that issue? How can I, exactly. Because we can come here and say, what you need to do is write some things down and dwell on it, and write some things down and dwell on it.
But the reality is,
how can we go about it? You see what I mean? It is quite a tricky situation that people are in.
And especially ones that are from Bain communities, it's very worse because you have culture and certain things you can't bring up because they're taboo. You cannot discuss certain things. Or, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's how do we overcome those type of challenges?
Exactly. So, as I was trying to highlight, yes, you do have that, you do have esteem. You do critique yourself all the time. You feel bad about yourself. You can't go into public. Some people can't have conversations in public because obviously, they're probably not good communicators, or they're worrying about one thing or they're worrying about, there's all these weaknesses that, so even though you're weak, you need to accept that, okay, yes, I have a problem, okay, yes, I think sometimes I feel that, I think I sometimes I feel that, I do not like to do it. At the moment, I do not like to do it. I just carry on talking. And the thing is, I just carry on talking. And the thing is, the people that, some people have self-esteem, but the people that, some people have self-esteem, but it's very, people actually have self-esteem. Some people actually have confidence. In other ways, confident, yes. In other ways, confident in other ways. So confident self-esteem in other ways. So the self, it doesn't mean I'm timid. It doesn't mean people timid. But people think low self-esteem. Normally people with low self-esteem. Normally people with low self-esteem hide it very well. So I was going to say, they do. Sometimes. So I was going to say, sometimes. They struggle to execute it, and that side is there. That side is there, but they struggle to show that they don't. They're trying to cover it that they don't have it, and yet some of it, some of it, obviously appreciating yourself. Obviously appreciating yourself. People do not like struggling to accept, struggling to accept that. Focusing on be that or focusing on what could be more improved rather than focusing, comparing yourself to others in matching ways, trying to match up with people. All of that is part of trying to low self-esteem, because you can't, compare yourself to people, because everybody's got their own, I should say, that makeup is different. I cannot be like you. You cannot be, like me. Do you see what I mean? Everybody is different. So I can't say, because I'm not like you, I'm just going to worry about it and have a look. No, it can't be that. So you just need to accept who you are, basically. And you can improve yourself. And you can improve yourself. Everyone can improve and change, but you can't really change the person that you are. That's who you are, and that's it. Some people can't accept that, and that's why it leads to so many other complications. Yeah, so there we go. It is quite difficult, obviously, to have that sort of, a healthy self-esteem, but having a low self-esteem is easy to cover, easy to recognize, difficult to recognize, because obviously they're, trying to hide it, but obviously there is always a solution at the end of the day. Yeah, so I mean, like we always say, we're not clinical staff. We just, do our research, or we just, think about topics that affect people from the BAME community and the Black, especially African community, and just, bring it up so that people can identify with things, because it's so important. A lot of people are suffering in silence, and suffering with mental health issues, and this is all a part of it. So that's why we're talking about self-esteem. It's a new year, so it's a good way to start dealing with it. And the thing is, if you don't deal with these things, they just spiral out of control. And if you don't deal, you can never become the person that you really want to become, because you can only be yourself. You cannot be anyone else. So there are ways to improve low self-esteem.
And the other word for that is like what I was trying to think of before is belief systems. You know, how we think about ourselves, what we believe about ourselves, and we can always change what we believe about ourselves. There's so many different ways, but I'll talk about these, and then I'll talk about other ones that I can say that has worked for me. So recognizing what you're good at can help improve your self-esteem, because you might be thinking, oh, I want to be like Jacqui, or I want to be like Beyonce, but then they have their own skills, they have their own gifts. Everybody's born with their own gifts. So when you recognize what you're good at, and you work in it, or you practice it, or not even necessarily practice it, but when you know what gift you have, that helps with your self-esteem, because you might be a good problem solver or a good critical thinker. And when you know that you're good at that, it becomes your power. So it's always good to identify what you're good at. Some people are really good at cooking. Some women just can cook, and it's a gift. Even they can cook with their eyes closed and the food will taste nice. Not all women can do that. Not all of us can do that at all, you know. And then some people are really good, like academically. When you're good academically, man, so much people would love to be good academically. If we could rewind the time and go back, we'd all be like, I don't know. I wish I'd be a dentist. If I could go back in time, if I could turn back the clock. So we're all good at something, and that's what can help us boost our energy, boost our mood, you know, make us feel better. Building positive relationships is very important, you know.
Exactly.
Because if you find certain people that if you're around people that bring you down, or don't make you feel good about yourself, or, you know, there's just some people you're around, when you're around them, you never feel good about this. So sometimes they don't even know they have that effect on you. It doesn't mean they're a bad person, but they're just not for you. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So it's just, you should know who brings out the best in you. So build on those positive relationships, the people that are positive, the people that appreciate you. I think we spoke about this a lot 2 weeks ago from a different perspective, but it's very important to build positive relationships.
Yeah.
Being kind to yourself, very, very important, because like I said in the beginning, we should be our own cheerleaders first before anybody's our cheerleader. We should be the one that speaks positivity, you know, and speaks goodness to ourselves, because what comes out of your mouth is what you speak into the atmosphere is what is going to become. So if you're always going to be like, oh, I'm like this, this is going wrong, oh my god, today I'm so tired, today I can't take it, you know, the more you do it, the more it becomes reality, and the more it's like, I can't do it, then you become stressed, and you become. But if you try and like just be kinder to yourself, if you need to rest, sleep. If you need that 30 minutes power nap, have it. You know, like, just be kind to yourself, treat yourself well. Have, you know, a soak in the bath, you know, treat yourself, self-love. Go to Dubai, have a lovely holiday.
Yours. Do you have low self-esteem? Your self-esteem is a culmination of your physical self-image, accomplishments, capabilities, and perceived success. In short, it's your opinion of yourself. Some of us are blessed to have an environment that fosters high self-esteem. Others are not so fortunate. But despite unfortunate circumstances or events, you can cultivate high self-esteem. Think of the protagonist who had a difficult childhood or a rough start in life. Despite the trials they faced, they were able to forge ahead. Hopefully these few tips can help you believe in yourself again. Number 1, stop comparing yourself to others. Sometimes comparisons can be helpful. Using them as a template for improvement can inspire you to make changes. Then again, sometimes they are a way for you to deconstruct yourself and discover all the things that you think are wrong with you. According to an article in Psychology Today, written by physician Dr. Bailey, we can remind ourselves that people's outsides can't be compared to our insides. This is because people can curate their social media versions of their lives, and they can do the same with their public lives. You might have experienced being shocked when a couple appeared happy and solid in a relationship until one of them announced their breakup. Of course, we wish others well, but remember that you don't actually know what goes on behind closed doors when their lives make you feel bad about your own. Number 2, overcome perfectionism. I know, you're just trying to do your best and work hard to achieve your goals, but how can we know if we've crossed the line? Have you been experiencing signs of procrastination, restlessness, being motivated by fear, and especially low self-esteem? Well, these are signs of a perfectionist. Despite what social media tries to portray as a perfect life, creating one for yourself can lead to maladaptive rumination and deterioration of mental health. Instead of achieving more, you may undergo more setbacks than you desire. According to Oregon Counseling, we can take steps to overcome perfectionism through tendency awareness, allowing room for mistakes, focusing on meaning over perfectionism, and setting reasonable goals for ourselves. Number 3, figure out what you're good at and develop it. How do your abilities and self-esteem go hand in hand? Well, your sense of purpose will increase. When that happens, your self-esteem grows when you demonstrate to yourself your ability and competencies. When you gain deeper fulfillment and inspire others around you, you can improve your self-esteem. So how do you identify your abilities? Try listing down what you love doing and your previous accomplishments. It can be daily blogging, baking, cooking, or even science experiments that you did at a science fair. Diving into activities that allow you to show off or discover your talents is a start to figuring out your strengths, which bring you confidence and purpose in life. So tell us, what do you enjoy doing the most in your life? Come on, don't be shy. Let's hear it out in the comments. And number 4, focus on what you can change and the things that are in your control. Dwelling on your worries can be a potent poison that whittles down your resolve. It can trap you in an illusion that makes you believe that progress or anything remotely positive is impossible. Instead of focusing on these negative thoughts, try focusing on what you can change. One way to overcome this is to label your thoughts as productive worry and unproductive worry to see things from a clearer perspective. When you know the difference between productive and unproductive worrying, you can start to manage your worries, which eventually helps you feel more confident in yourself, your choices, and your abilities. So what's the difference, you may ask? Well, to keep it simple, unproductive worry imagines all sorts of unlikely outcomes and focuses on the what ifs and worst case scenarios without any clear solutions. While productive worry helps you solve a problem or resolve a situation and explores appropriate ways of finding solutions to problems. Do you think you'll try some of these tips? Remember, baby steps are the way to go. It may seem scary to start, but just remember to be kind to yourself and let yourself make mistakes along the way. Self-esteem is necessary to move forward in life. The moment you stop believing in yourself, you abandon hope of success. So please do not give up on yourself. If you struggle with your self-esteem, we encourage you to seek professional help. It's a big deal, and you deserve to believe in yourself. If you found this video helpful, like and share it with friends that might find insight in it too. Remember to subscribe to Psych2Go and hit the notification bell for more content. All the sources used are added in the description box below. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time.